What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 2, Home Sweet Drama. Wasn't like a super good episode, wasn't very eventful, but it wasn't exactly boring either. It was just like a middle of the road episode. All right. So we start off with the tagline. So we finally get the taglines on episode 2, which I feel like is kind of early. Maybe not. I feel like we usually get them episodes 3 or 4, but we have all heard the taglines by now. Candace's is trash. That's not a high note. And Karen, I don't know what Karen was thinking. As far as like best taglines, I'm sick of hearing about Wendy and her degrees, but I'll give it to Wendy. And then I think Giselle's because of the use of her daughter's names. All right. I love a good pun. I love wordplay. Love stuff like that. So, Ashley. So, Ashley meets up with her mom. So, Sheila's back, y'all. And Ashley is at a nursery. She's planning her housewarming party. So, she wants to get some plants and some flowers for the backyard. So Ashley is supposedly friends with the new girl Nneka, who is this Nigerian woman that is coming in. I know a lot of the fans think that they went and found another Nigerian woman to go against Wendy to kind of like dispel the colorism rumors, but nonetheless, Nneka is here. So apparently she knows of Wendy. They're not friends, but Wendy is friends with her cousin-in-law. So whole little what is that, 3 degrees of separation type thing. And they have met before, but that's it. So she didn't really have an opinion about Wendy or anything like that we can see so far. So Ashley is telling her mom that in the Bahamas, even though Michael was there, they didn't try anything sexual. They were just two friends that were there with their kids. I don't know if I believe that, but okay. I don't know if I believe that, Ashley, but if that's what you want to tell everybody, that's what you want to tell everybody. So next thing we know, Sheila gets close and it's like, is Candace coming? And I want to be like, Sheila, did you hear did you hear Candace's name in the list of people that Ashley said was coming? So we all know that Michael Darby is suing Candace for the sexual assault claims that Candace was so very brazen on yelling out at the reunion. While we all know that Michael is a creep, Michael is a sleaze, you still have to be very careful with what you do. And I know that a lot of people applaud Candace for just, her visceral tongue and all that type of stuff, and the way that she's very sharp tongued and she, tries to cut people where it hurts. This is an instance where I think Michael is going to go through with this lawsuit because he can. Literally because he can. So Ashley says she doesn't know any of the details. We know she's not cool with Candace. And she said that Michael is not very forthcoming with the information about it. She said it's not her fish to fry. So Ashley says she doesn't know anything about it. Sheila wants her to invite Candace. I don't know why. You want drama at your daughter's housewarming party, Sheila? Miss Sheila, we don't need to see you for a while, okay? Let's go put Miss Sheila back where she is. So we get Mia. Mia is meeting up with Karen. Karen's entire outfit was cute. I didn't like her hair, but her outfit was cute. Karen walks up, shakes her hand. Because we're not the friends that we used to be. We got to start over. We got to start back from scratch, right? So Karen comes in, shakes her hand. Karen tells Mia, I'm disappointed in your lies. Mia said, what did I lie about? And it's like, Mia, don't do this. Don't do this. You know what you did. So Karen felt that she was stabbed in the back by Mia. Never thought that Mia would do that because they had a decent enough, a good friendship probably prior to coming on the show. So Karen tells her, well, you brought up the rumor about me sleeping with somebody else. Mia said, I didn't lie about that. That is a rumor that I heard. Semantics. I hate when people play semantics when they're being called out about something, right? You brought this rumor that really had no base, that was very unfounded, and you brought it to this group because you were trying to be messy, or, as we're finding out, because you can't hold your liquor. So Mia doesn't really, I don't remember if Mia really apologized for that, But Karen tells her, do not bring up any rumors about her institution, which y'all know she considers her marriage and her family. So she felt that Ray was disrespected all up and through last season because of the way that people were talking about her, saying that, she was cheating on Ray and Ray let her go out and sleep with other men, all of that type of stuff. So Mia agrees. We're not going to talk about nobody's institution, all right? I'm not going to talk about yours. You're not going to talk about mine. Karen said, speaking of Gordon, how were you two? Giselle was saying that it was embellished, or asking if it was embellishment, which Karen immediately was like, but that's stupid. And Mia was like, in Giselle's defense, I thought it was too, kind of based on what was going on. So Karen was like, you thought your husband was embezzling? And Mia was like, well, yeah. So I think there's something to be said when you think your husband is embezzling, right? There's something to be said about that. And I think it makes me wonder if Mia and Gordon, or even if just Gordon was doing something shady within that business. Whether he thought that it was, you know what I mean? Like maybe he thought that something he was doing was legit, but it really wasn't. Maybe he was trying to do something kind of under the radar. It really makes me wonder, because for your own wife to question if you were doing something wrong and misappropriating funds, that's wild. That is crazy, right? So she then goes on to tell Karen that she is not drinking anymore. She only drinks wine. And I feel like I need somebody to tell Mia that drinking wine is still drinking. It's still an alcoholic beverage. Just say that you're cutting back on hard liquor, you're cutting back on drinking. But you can't say, I don't drink anymore, I just drink wine. That doesn't make sense. So she tells Karen that she wants to cut back because, the way that she's been acting when she drinks is not herself. So she said, even in Miami, when she threw the drink on Wendy, it's because she was drinking her liquor while being on medication. And that is just irresponsible. Is what that is. That is just completely and utterly irresponsible. I will never understand people that are taking medication, whether over the counter or an antibiotic, that still drink. It's wild to me. So Karen said that she still has hope for them. She feels like Mia should kind of tell the other ladies what was really going on with her during that time, because she thinks the other ladies will be a little more sympathetic to what happened. No, you really need to apologize to Wendy for throwing that drink on her and then hitting her with the purse. That's what you need to do, Mia, but you're never going to do that. So let's not even talk about this. We panned over to Candace. Candace has her manager Nye come over. Shout out Milwaukee. So they're coming. He comes over. They're talking about this. I guess Candace is back on tour. How many songs does Candace have? And I'm asking like a very for serious question. Like aside from, what is the song with Trina, Drive Back? She has a song called Insecure, I think. Like what? How long is Candace's set that she is still on this city winery tour? But he suggests that when she's in Chicago, she uses Drew, who is from Chicago, to open for her. Candace doesn't want Drew. She kind of makes a face. Who else can we use? He's like, well, we can use the girl that we used before. Yeah, let's use her. So Candace feels that she doesn't need a name to bring anyone to put butts in the seats. I don't know if Drew Sidora is putting butts in seats anyways. So that just seemed like a very weak cop out. And even Nye was acting like, so like, what is the real reason that you don't want Candace there? And the way that she was like, well, I've sold out Cindy. I've sold out the show. And the way that he was mocking her is kind of on some, no, you probably need to have her open. So Nairi actually writes for Drew Sidora, so it would kind of make sense to have both of them there. But nonetheless, Candace got on Twitter just this evening and said that that is not how the conversation went, and she actually loves Drew. I feel like the conversation was very similar to what we saw, and that's just me. Candace likes to be extremely shady and then hide her hand in a lot of instances, and that's what I think she's doing in this instance. So then we have Robyn. All right, so Robyn is talking to Juan. Robyn is portioning out all these vitamins she got laid out all over the table. And she tells Juan how she had a conversation at Giselle's house and it felt like an intervention, girl, because it was. You being loud and stupid. It was an intervention, right? So Juan would say, well, we've already had these conversations about this before. Don't they know that? No, they don't know that because Robyn hasn't told them that. So that's where the miscommunication is coming in. So Robyn said that they asked, why would Juan even put himself into that particular position? Juan said he doesn't care. He has a tight circle. He's not going to deviate away from that because you're on the Housewives of Potomac, and I don't care that people are dragging you to and fro. I don't care about any of that. If I want to go get my nails did with Coach Bree, I'm going to go get my nails did with Coach Bree. That's how Juan is acting. Robyn said, we want that Giselle and them wanted her to get mad at Juan. That's not the situation. They want you to be mad about the situation and mad that Juan doesn't respect you. They're not saying be mad at Juan for going to getting his nails done. That's not what they said at all. They want you to be mad at Juan for the entire situation, and it comes down to him just not respecting you. The fact that Juan is sitting here telling you that he does not care, he's going to keep doing whatever he wants to do, Robyn, Juan is making you look like a fool. Again, last episode was bad enough. Now, this episode where he's basically telling you, okay, Robyn, go on to get mad at me so we can get this over with. And Robyn say, well, I'm not mad, Juan. I don't care. It's like, I don't care about this anymore. Because this is silly. This is silly. You know why your friends are, you know why they had the conversation with you. It's not for you to be mad that Juan went with his coach to get his nails done. It's the fact that Juan doesn't respect you enough to even stay out of the spotlight for a couple of months so that it doesn't look like he's just this habitual cheater. But see, Robyn doesn't care about any of that because she don't want to lose Juan. We don't know what he's bringing to the table, but she doesn't want to lose Juan. So then it turns into Robyn kept saying that, I don't care. I just don't care about this. It's not a big deal to me. Well, you cared enough to be sitting on the curb crying. We saw that in the super trailer. You've cared enough to be sitting in that car crying, so you care about something. You can try to go through this whole tough girl act all you want to, but like your body language, the sadness in your eyes, the dead look across your face sometimes, you do care. You care. It would be better if you just told Juan that was fucked up. Have at the very least, all you can do is stop. Just give me a couple months. But you won't even do that. So, okay, Robyn. So Juan then goes on to talk about the lawsuit, how it was unfortunate. Juan is saying that, he got fired or that he did everything that he was supposed to correctly. Robyn feels in her heart of hearts that Juan didn't do anything wrong. You weren't there. I'll say that because that's a very delicate situation. But Robyn, you weren't there, right? So you don't know what that athlete said to Juan. You don't know what Juan's response was. You're not Juan, so you don't know that Juan handled everything to the T the way that he should have. So then Juan is saying how he loves his players and they love him back, and he's just such a good person to the fact that he puts everybody else, before himself aside from his wife. He doesn't put Robyn before him. He don't give a damn how Robyn feels or what Robyn's dealing with. So then Robyn mutters under her breath, as do I. And he just kind of looked at her like, what? Yeah. Juan, you might put everybody else in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You might put everybody else before you aside from Robyn, though. Robyn, you don't put before you. And you've shown that last week's episode where you just, were very condescending and patronizing in that conversation. And then now where you are smacking your hand on the table, I don't care. So you're not putting her before yourself. Because if you did, you would show at least the slightest bit of remorse for what is happening to her in the blogs and on the show, but you don't care. So, again, we cannot care more about the way Juan treats Robyn than Robyn does. So we meet Nneka. So she just closed on a 5-bedroom home in Potomac. She is a lawyer. Her husband is a doctor and a club owner. So she said that she didn't realize generational wealth was an issue until it caused the delay in closing of her house. So she has waterfront properties in Wisconsin and a bunch of other places. She thinks she got some in Nigeria, but she don't know. If you don't know for sure, you don't. That's just a good rule of thumb. So they're actively trying to have kids, but she said that she takes her prenatal vitamins with champagne, and that's when I stopped listening because that's just stupid. That's asinine to do. We move over to Wendy, y'all. So like I don't care for Wendy. I just don't care for Wendy's personality. I'll say that. I don't care for Wendy's personality. But Wendy is looking for a studio space to start her own talk show. Now, while in theory this is a good idea because Wendy is extremely educated, it would be great to see a talk show from her perspective being because like Wendy is she's not a White House correspondent. I think she's just a political correspondent. So it would be great to see her do a talk show. But it's also like Wendy always has these phantom ideas, businesses that she pretends is her storyline for the season. Quiet as is kept, loud as is known, Wendy has not exactly had a storyline either, right? It went from her wanting to start the candle business, she's opening a restaurant, and now she's starting a talk show. Where are the candles? Somebody tell me what Wendy's storyline is. Like, I just feel like people like to talk about how certain people don't have storylines when in actuality, none of these women have true storylines. Robyn has one this year by default, but none of these women really have storylines. To be, if we're keeping it a buck. So she's at this studio space to see if she wants to rent it out. So she wants to do this talk show that's a little bit of politics, a little bit of ratchet. So Wendy has she's sitting down talking to this lady who she said she's known for years since she was a teenager, and she has done some producing of different shows that she thinks has gone to Sundance. Again, if you don't know for sure, then the answer is they haven't. Because if I have somebody that I have known for years and they have a production or a film or something that went to Sundance, I'm gonna know for sure and I'm gonna know the name of the project. But nonetheless, so the lady, I forgot her name, but the friend is asking her um what's the budget. Of course, Wendy doesn't have a budget. Wendy never has a budget when she goes into these things. And that's what I don't understand about Wendy. As educated as she is, it's like she just doesn't think when it comes to certain things. So she said that with pre-production and the cost that whatever it would cost to rent that space per month, they are over budget. She then says that she knows what a PA is, has a great one in mind, but didn't know what a PA was. So, in Wendy's defense, Wendy could have been thinking that that was a personal assistant, but her friend is thinking of a production assistant. We then hear a lawnmower outside, and Wendy is like, "Is this place not soundproof? Why would it be soundproof? Why would that be soundproof? Because that doesn't look like an actual studio. So why would you think that was soundproof? Wendy, if you don't go and get you a ring light and a tripod like the rest of us and find you a nice, quiet, well lit corner in your house and film whatever it is you're going to film and post on YouTube or Facebook TV and call it a day, this is crazy. So then she goes through, let's call the show Zen Win. That's whack. Let's call it Wendy's Wisdom. That's not a good title. So then it becomes Wine with Dr. Wendy. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. So we then get Karen, Ashley, and Giselle and Mia. They're meeting up to do Pilates. So Karen still won't hug Mia, shakes her hand once again. Ashley has new boobs called Demi and Diamond, and Karen is doing this very dramatic explanation to tell them that she has a 5% calcium deposit that is in her heart, so she wants to get more in shape. Her mother was a cardiovascular patient, so she's being more proactive before her triple 20. Karen is turning 60. So Mia goes to the bathroom, and while she's there, Giselle asks if Mia and Karen are okay. Karen said that, we're getting back to where we used to be, but we got to start from scratch, so that's why they're shaking hands. It then moves on to Karen saying, okay, well, in the spirit of everybody starting from scratch and starting fresh, are you going to apologize to Robyn? Karen acknowledges we both need to apologize to each other, says if Jizzy sets it up and facilitates it, then she'll come to that meeting, and she has no problem apologizing. The real issue is I don't know if Robyn is going to be willing to apologize to Karen. Karen acknowledges that, she was repeating rumors that she heard when it came to the blind lady and stuff like that, but she's willing to apologize. She said she don't know about nothing international, only domestic. I said, okay, Karen, whatever works for you. So Karen then asks Ashley about being divorced. Ashley says she's very much still married, and then said that her name is the only name on the deed of that house. Now, didn't she say that that house was also in Michael's name too, just last episode? Because I don't have a house. So I don't exactly know how mortgages go, but color me crazy, but I don't know if somebody can be on the mortgage but not on the deed to the house. If you can, please let me know. But Ashley just flat out lied for no reason there. So we finally get to Ashley's party. Uncle Lump didn't know that Michael was on vacation with Ashley. I said, Uncle, because you know why she didn't tell him. She's like, oh, I never panned the phone over so that, you could see Michael there. Maybe he was with the boys in the water. No, you know why you didn't tell Uncle Lump. You know why. Sharice comes in and she's dressed just like Karen, just in different colors. While they're doing the house tour, Wendy comes in, only speaks to Karen and Sharice, which is standard. Fans are gonna say that that's okay, right? But if Giselle had come in and not spoken to Wendy, y'all lose your shit. I just want the same energy for everybody. That's it. I give everybody the same energy, but we know that people are team this and people are team that. But I didn't have an issue with her coming in and not speaking. Speak to who you want to speak to. So Deborah shows up and Wendy looks disgusted and asks, why is she there? You know why she's there. That's Ashley's friend. And we know that Deborah want to get on TV, but that's Ashley's friend. So Wendy said that, I thought this was a housewarming, not a kids party. Is the entertainment here? Wendy shade just never, it never lands. For me, it is very far and few that Wendy shade actually lands successfully. So Robyn shows up and it's awkward. It's clear that Robyn has tension with a bunch of people, but Robyn does speak to everybody. So Robyn does speak to Karen, she does speak to Mia, she does speak to Wendy. She doesn't go over and hug them and greet them like in the physical sense, but she does speak to everybody there, and I believe they all spoke back. That's why I never quite understood why Wendy always had such a hard on for Giselle when Robyn was just as guilty in the whole questioning if she got her body done and if she did it, to try to keep her husband. It's always weird when Robyn and Giselle are kind of in cahoots about something or to blame for something, but people will forgive Robyn quicker than they will Giselle. I've never understood that. So Nneka shows up, and Wendy lets them know that they're pronouncing her name wrong. She said that, she's only seen her in passing, and we find out that they are both, did she say Ibo? Ibo? If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I didn't quite hear what she said, didn't have the caption on. So Ashley decides to put Wendy in the house to talk to her. And Wendy lets her know how proud of her she is, that this is a very big step for her. Lets her know that the best thing you can do for your children is provide a safe place that's full of love. And she said the moment she walked in Ashley's house, she felt the love and she felt the warmth. So Wendy lets Ashley know, look, you've always made me feel like I matter. Remember in Miami, Ashley was the one that was very hell bent on Wendy's going to be in everything. There's no reason why Wendy can't come to all these events. Fuck Mia. Who cares how Mia feels about this? Wendy has every right to be at every single thing we're doing on this trip. So Wendy then lets her know, like, I just want to make sure that if given opportunity, you're not going to stab me in the back. They talk about the whole Happy Eddie situation. And Ashley's like, look, so do you not want me to tell you anything? Ashley thinks that the reason that Wendy doesn't trust her is because they haven't spent a lot of one-on-one time together. That's not the reason, Ashley. It's because nobody should trust you. Because Ashley, you're a pot stirrer. You're a shit starter. That's what you do. And then we see Exhibit 2075 right now, when you turn around and tell Wendy all these things that Nneka supposedly said while leaving out the fact that you probed these things out of her. So Ashley is telling Nneka that Wendy is a doctor. Nneka asks a very plausible question: doctor of medicine or something else? And Ashley is like, doctor of philosophy. Wendy was like, I am a doctor of philosophy. Would she say less than 1% of people in the world are? And I said, why get her started talking about these degrees? Why? We don't want to hear about these 4 degrees. We don't. I promise you we don't. So she then tells her that Nneka said Osu is terrible. And Wendy is like, that means that you're an outcast, right? So Nneka was saying that Wendy's family was Osu when it was really that Ashley had found some article and she relayed that to Nneka, and then Nneka in turn explained what Osu was. So Wendy said it means that you're an outcast, and she's like, my family is not that. So she said, remember when you came to the party that we had and everybody was there dressed in their tribal clothing and all that type of stuff? If we were Osu, they wouldn't have been there. Nobody comes to your events, nobody supports you, nobody is around you. We're simply not that. In the confessional, production asks Ashley, like, why did you make it seem as if Nneka was talking shit about Wendy? And Ashley was like, I didn't, but it's like you did though. So then Ashley blames it on the tequila, and this is exactly why nobody trusts you, Ashley. Wendy has every right to not trust you. Every single right to not trust you. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.